How's it going, guys? It's Eclipse here, and today we're taking a look at some really exciting news for World of Tanks console. We've got some kind of insider information. We do not necessarily know about it. It's not 100% confirmed, but it's pretty much definitely there. I reckon it will be, and that is in the form of next season's tanks for the next season. So obviously which tanks you're going to get as part of the season pass. I'm usually pretty good at doing this, but I wasn't expecting this one. So, you know, they're not confirmed by Wargaming. It's not being officially announced. It was part of a leak that came through when they updated the season pass and Ultimate Season Pass in the store. You could see what tanks were on there, and they were in the form of the Polish mediums. Before we get into that though, I do want to just let you know about this weekend's operations. We've got a few different ones. The main thing for this weekend is basically you get an extra 50% Commander XP. So if you're looking to actually earn or train up any of your commanders up to tier 9, or you know the highest max amount of crew skills that you can get is 9, then yeah, this weekend's going to be fantastic for you guys. All you have to do is basically play a battle and earn 250 XP. Earning 250 XP is pretty much every single game that you actually manage to do anything. Even if you die and, you know, bounce a few shots, I'm pretty sure you get 250 XP anyway. It's been very rare if you were to get under that. So basically every single game you'll be getting 50% bonus Commander XP, which is really nice, and allow you players, the newer of you, to be able to actually get to the highest skilled crews. Then we've got another event kind of alongside. You'll be able to get a confidential keycard. We covered what you can get in the confidential keycards in the previous video, so if you want to have a look at that, go ahead after the video. It will be linked at the end, so you can click on the video, or you can go to my channel, whatever you prefer, and then just see yesterday's video. Additionally, you will be able to get a 275,000 silver, which is also very nice. So, you know, you've got a chance at a premium tank here. You've got at least some guaranteed gold. I think you can get a guaranteed 150. So, you know, and that's only for dealing 30,000 damage across any number of battles. So, you know, in the weekend between the 26th and the 1st of March, that should be really easy for you to do. Then we've got a few deals that are coming out on the weekend. Nothing particularly too special here. I don't think that they're going to really save you so much money in the game, but it's going to be, you know, useful for you guys to just have a look at them. You can pick up a bundle, the Steel Bulwark. This is basically the HMH Chrysler on screen here, the Scourge Kiravettes, and the AMX M4 MLE 49. That's the French tier 8 heavy. You know, it's quite pricey, to be honest with you. 17,000 gold almost for 3 tier 8 premiums. You know, there's better bundles in the store, and I mean, if you enjoy heavy tanks on console, you know, you'll probably enjoy the bundle. They're not terrible tanks. They're not particularly super overpowered. The Chrysler was actually really heavily nerfed when it came into console, so, you know, up against the tier 9s with premium ammunition, they just go straight through your upper plate. I mean, sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. It's kind of a bit dodgy in terms of its armor, considering it literally relies on its frontal armor. The side of it is pretty much paper, and so anything will go through. So yeah, Scourge, an IS-3 with a flat plate at the front. You know, if you like IS-3s, then yeah, you'll enjoy this, and it's quite good. You can angle in this a little bit more than the IS-3 on the tech tree and the other variants like the Fatherland. And then the AMX M4 MLE 49. This is the is basically similar to the tech tree tech tree tanks that in the French heavy line. You know, it's not fantastic, and its armor is pretty much paper on the side. Other than that, we've got bundles of 50% off the Patriot and off the Nomad. Patriot's an alright tank, wouldn't prioritise it. You know, it's kind of like a medium heavy. It's got good turret armour and fairly decent frontal armour a little bit, but everyone will pen this lower plate pretty much. And the side is paper, side of the turret is paper. Yeah, you'll be it's kind of a bit awkward, that tank, and I don't think it's for everyone. And then the Nomad, this is actually really powerful tier 8. It's really good. It's an autoloader. It's a bit like the 5100, but imagine a 5100 with actual armour that works. Frontally, weak spots are the turret on this kind of flat bit here, and you can pen that really easily. The hull of it is really strong though, so when you're coming up against these, shoot the turret, because that's the weak point. What else about this tank? It's basically pretty much a 5100 but better. That's kind of what the premium tanks are nowadays. But other than that, that's I think 8,000 gold is a lot, and you can probably pick it up in a 75% bundle when they do them. It's often in bigger bundles where you get multiple tanks, and I think it's probably better picking it up then, just because that's so much gold for a 50% saving. But it's up to you. Do what you like with your own gold. But we will move into the next part of the video, which is on the Polish mediums and the next season's tanks, or what I think that they will be, as part of the update coming on February or March 9th. So if we look here, this is what we got in game. This is basically what you saw when they updated it. You've got a Hellcat looking thing here. You've got the T-77. This is the American Tier 8 T-57 Heavy-esque type tank. It's like a T-57 Heavy at Tier 8 basically. And then we've got the CS-52 Lis, which is the Polish premium medium tank at Tier 8. What's kind of special about these tanks? Well, we'll go over them in just a second. We don't know that this is confirmed, and I can't say it's confirmed or anything like that because I don't know. Wargaming have not currently made a position on this. They did say that the Polish mediums would be coming at some point, but that was last year in June or something like that. So I'm pretty confident that with this new season we will get the Polish mediums, because they're not going to release a premium before they release the tech tree, and I think at the start of a new season is a good time to actually release the Polish mediums. So what do we get as part of this update then, in terms of these tanks? Then the first thing, we'll look at the stats of the CS-52 Lis. It's fairly fast, it's fairly mobile at 50 kilometers an hour forward. We got 320 alpha damage, which is an alright amount, but at tier 8 it's not that. It's pretty much standard. You've got decent dispersion whilst moving and turning the turret and stuff like that, so it's going to be quite an agile medium tank. The hull armour is actually not absolute paper, although you will probably be able to go through it with almost every tank. When you look at it frontally, if we go to the collision model, you'll be able to see that you've got 160mm of armour. Light tanks might struggle with you, but the really effective bit of the armour is the turret, and even that is not particularly amazing and should probably be penned by most tier 8s and tier 10s and 9s that you come up against. Tier 8s will, tier 7s and 6s will struggle to pen you through the turret, but the hull armour is weak. Definitely your side armour, you might want to side scrape, because you've got a decent amount of chance of ricocheting, but there is patches where you've got a lot weaker armour, where your turret kind of bulges out a little bit right there, as you can see, where they can pen you. So yeah, do I think that this is fantastic? Probably not. Would I recommend paying the 11,600 for the Ultimate Season Pass to be able to get this tank, which I assume is why it's on here? I'm guessing that as part of the Ultimate Season Pass you'll get this tank and the skins and plus 25 levels like that we did with this season. But if you just buy the normal one, you won't get this tank, and you'll just get these two with another tank as well. We don't know what the other tank is for the regular Season Pass, but we can only speculate until they give us some more information. The commanders I expect are ones that you will get throughout the season, and you'll get an extra one here on the right as well. I don't know who any of them are, but I'm sure we'll find out closer to the time. we'll look over the other 2 tanks now as well, just to make sure you guys kind of know what's likely to be coming into the game. I can't say yet again that this is confirmed, because it really isn't, and it was just kind of a leak. Whether Wargaming did it on purpose, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm sure that it probably wasn't on purpose, because usually they kind of give a bit of a teaser closer to the time. But this is the other tank I believe is in the game, or coming to the game. This is pretty much, as you can see on screen, if we go to the visual model, pretty much exactly the same as what the leak was. You can see right here, if we swap back, it looks pretty much exactly the same. So I would 100% think it is the T-77. What's good about the T-77? Well, it's an autoloader at tier 8. It's got okay hull armour. It's got that boat kind of shaped hull. Most tanks are going to be able to go through your upper plate, to be honest with you, because they just got that much pen, where it's only 200mm in places, and definitely the lower plate is going to get penned and peppered all of the time. And to be honest, they don't need to hit the lower plate, because your turret armour is the weakest point on your tank, where you see this little bandana-y type thing. This is where the weakest bit of the armour is, and you're looking at like 150 to 180. So you'll be able to pretty much go through that. That is where you want to be hitting this tank. It's got a cupola, but don't aim for that. Literally, you'd be better off just aiming here to be able to pen it. What's the gun stats like? Well, you get 360 alpha damage. This is on PC, so stats could change. It tend to get nerfed when they come into console. I don't know what's going to happen. We don't know the official stats, but this is what it's probably looking like. So 3 in the clip, 360 alpha damage each time. You're looking at 1080 alpha damage in one whole clip at tier 8, which is, well, it's pretty ridiculous in my opinion. You can take away 3/4 of most tanks' hit points in that time. You're looking at taking out 2/3 of the hit points of your own self if you were to shoot at the same tank. You've got a decent mobility at 48 kilometers forward, pretty poor reverse speed at only 12. It's not very good at shooting on the move either, 0.23. You do have a decent dispersion value, which when you add the accuracy perks that are in this game, it's going to be pretty good. I'm not going to lie. You get 8 degrees of gun depression. One thing that you will hate about this tank is it is like the 57 Heavy, and it does only get 15 degrees of elevation. So if anyone's above you, you're going to have a real hard time trying to actually take them out. What else? We've gone over the armour. It's pretty poor. It's fairly fast, but not really, really fast. You've got a good gun, is basically what makes this tank. Do I think it's going to be super overpowered? Probably not. I do think that the gun, though, will kind of make or break this tank, and yeah, it's going to be very boring for the opponents, because they can lose 1080 health if someone decides to just load premium in this thing, which does get a ridiculous amount of penetration at tier 8, and they're going to take 2/3 to 3/4 of your hit points depending on what tank you are in. I'm a bit miffed with the amount of autoloaders that have been coming into the game, and I don't really like it, because what happens is, they might be balanced as a whole because once they've unloaded, but if someone just YOLOs you, they can take the majority of your hit points, and it's not really fun when it's a tank that you're giving to every single player who has the season pass. It's going to be very, very annoying for those players who may not necessarily know how to play autoloaders. They're going to be able to just YOLO, and they're going to ruin people's games as well as their own, because when you YOLO in an autoloader, you don't survive, because if you're going into 3 tanks, you might get 1080 damage, but that's all you're doing, because you're going to get shot as soon as you're out of your reload, and then you've got a long time to reload them further shells. So yeah, DPM is atrocious on this tank as well. Now, what do I think the final tank is? Well, this looks like a kind of like a Hellcat. We aren't entirely sure. I can't say it is definitely a Hellcat. What I do think though is it could be the Super Hellcat at tier 7. If we have a look here, the Super Hellcat on PC is somewhat similar. It doesn't necessarily look exactly the same, but you can see it's somewhat similar. But I don't even think it's this tank. I genuinely don't. I think that, unless it's the skinned version of it, I can't say that it is. I think it might be a console only one. Doesn't look the same. But this is my best guess. I would guess it'd be a tier 7. It's either tier 6 or tier 7. And on PC they don't actually have another version, from what I can gather, of a similar style tank. So I'd guess that it would be the Super Hellcat if it was anything here. I could be wrong. Obviously, if you guys find it out in the comment section below, definitely leave a comment, and I'll try and pin it there for everyone to see if I can confirm that that's probably what the tank is. As of yet, I don't know. It looks kind of a bit like a mercenary tank in my opinion. But other than that, that is pretty much everything we've got to talk about today. I just thought, you'd probably want to know this if you didn't catch on to it already. It's been going around and circulating in the forums constantly. Wargaming didn't take it down, so I can't say that, that they have a problem with me doing this. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't see why it would be a problem. It was actually released into the game, and so it's just literally a screenshot of what was in the game. Obviously, I've not said it's confirmed. I don't know. It could just be a hoax. I'm not entirely sure, but that would be my best guess as to the next season tanks. Other than that, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Remember to subscribe if you want to see some more content like this. I've got gameplay videos and kind of reviews coming out very soon, as well as obviously any news that comes out. That takes priority. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did like the video, please like the video, and you can check out some other videos on screen right now. But other than that, I will say goodbye. See ya.